Hey, Kentucky, this is Mary Jo Perino. Tonight, Rand Paul becomes the first senator to contract COVID-19. Governor Beshear is celebrated as a sex symbol, and the 2020 Olympics are put on hold. All that and more is next on Hey, Kentucky. Welcome to Hey, Kentucky, alongside LEX 18 Sports Director Keith Farmer. We made it through the weekend, cooped up. Yes?
Yeah, I was out.
Oh, okay, good.
You can't stay in the house,
No.
but yeah.
Well, I found a way to stay in the house.
Okay, good for you.
All right, Kentucky's Rand Paul is the first U.S. senator to test positive for the coronavirus. The Bowling Green Republican made the announcement yesterday on Twitter, saying he's in isolation and is asymptomatic and feeling fine. Paul was one of a number of political figures on hand at an event in Louisville earlier this month, where two attendees ended up testing positive. Some news outlets have reported that despite being tested roughly a week ago, Paul continued to interact with colleagues and even worked out at the Senate gym and was swimming in the pool yesterday morning, shortly before he received his positive test results. This development comes as there's talk of letting lawmakers in Washington vote remotely. But it seems that getting that rule change enacted will not happen anytime soon. Meanwhile, Rand Paul's positive test and the resulting self-isolation of several senators means that Republicans no longer enjoy a majority in the Senate, as it has been trying to pass a stimulus package. Keith, I don't know when we're going to get this package passed, and I think it has become politicized again, unfortunately.
And not only that, why are they not going to the remote voting? I realize they want to do it on the floor, they want it done so the American public can see what's going on. At the same time, these are different times. We keep saying this, and we need them to do the work and get this passed, the stimulus package passed. So I would love to see them have the chance to do this remotely. It seems like it takes an act of God to make that happen.
There is not one business in America that has not had to change in some way what they are doing.
I mean, we just talked about how there are only about 8 people in the newsroom when we normally have about 50. So, I mean, it's different. Get this thing done.
Get this done. All right, COVID-19 is now being blamed for 4 deaths here in Kentucky, including the latest one here in Lexington. Here's a look at other headlines involving those who have tested positive. The virus is forcing some 200 members of church congregations in Pulaski and Callaway counties to self-quarantine after possible exposure. An employee at a U.S. Postal Service processing and distribution center in Louisville has tested positive. An employee at Lexington's James Lane Allen Elementary has been diagnosed with the coronavirus. They had not been on the school's campus since March 13th, when they were not showing symptoms. Neither have the 2 other employees who were in contact, but they've self-quarantined to be safe. And a Jefferson County man is the state's second COVID-19 patient to be ordered into self-isolation against his will after he wouldn't do it himself. Keith, he even went to the grocery store, and that's knowing he had tested positive.
This is just amazing. And the fact that, we also kind of talked about this last week. If it happens that he keeps going out, they're going to arrest him.
Yeah.
Then they're going to put him in a jail. And will he have his own cell? I don't know. I hope so. Otherwise, we're going to see this thing possibly spread throughout there, which we had talked about last week. I can't fathom what's going through somebody's mind. He's 66 years old as well, so he's obviously got a chance of this really hitting him hard.
And the more we don't all do it, the longer this is going to take, I would assume. So, all right, let's talk about some better news. Governor Beshear's handling of the outbreak has gained national attention. Some are noting that Beshear has been ahead of the curve in curbing the spread of the virus in comparison to other states like Tennessee, where the governor acted more slowly and hundreds of people have now tested positive. Meanwhile, Andy Beshear is being labeled a, quote, clean-cut sex symbol for the coronavirus age. And you don't have to look far on the web or social media to see how he's being celebrated. A variety of memes paying tribute to him, casting the governor as Jason Momoa or Kermit the Frog. His likeness is even showing up on clothing. Keith, are you thinking about getting a Govern Me Daddy shirt?
That's the one I like right there. I like the Mr. Beshear's Neighborhood. That's my favorite. That one I might get. Govern Me Daddy. No, that's not mine. That's not in my lane. But I do love what he's doing. I do love the way he's handling it. And I do love all the memes that are coming out of this. That must mean he's doing something right, I think.
I've even seen on Facebook today that people's profile pictures have now been updated as Andy Beshear taking over the husband part in like a family picture.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no.
I know. That's one thing I did not see coming. All right. While many Kentucky businesses are being forced to close or modify the way they work during the outbreak, others have announced massive hiring plans. Walmart is looking for some 150,000 extra workers nationwide and over 3,000 in the Bluegrass, as is Amazon. Kroger seeks hundreds of new hires in Kentucky and Indiana, and Louisville-based Papa John's wants to take on 20,000 new employees across the country. Meanwhile, business owners who can't operate at all now have access to disaster loans from the federal government. And Keith, we could kind of see something like this coming when the lines are so long at Costco and Kroger and all that. You know that they need extra help.
Yeah.
But I still fear that the balance is more, it's hurting more people than it's helping.
Yeah, for sure. And it was, I did think about that a little bit last night when I was going to Kroger, because I'm thinking there are a lot of people that are going to need to come here. They're going to need more help. And so that's the businesses that we're seeing, the restaurants that are trying to stay open, that are obviously the pizza places that can deliver, and businesses like that, which is great. And the other great thing is I saw where, like, I think it was Kroger, for instance, is going to try and hurry people through the process to get them hired as well.
Yep. And liquor stores, they will be
staying
busy.
open.
They are essential. Other Kentucky businesses have altered their production lines to help out during this time of crisis. Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company is one of the distilleries using its own alcohol to produce hand sanitizer and is handing it out for free. Several other manufacturing sites are doing the same, including distilleries in Arkansas, West Virginia, and Texas. Other Kentuckians are stepping up to cover the shortage of face masks. Individuals sewing masks of their own, or volunteers with Kentucky Baptist Relief gathering thousands of masks and delivering them to medical facilities throughout the state. We also learned today that Fruit of Roseville would start making masks. Keith, these are some of the wonderful things that we've seen come out of this, where businesses are finding creative ways to help people.
There's something, though, about putting Fruit of the Loom mask on my face that I just can't wrap my... I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love the fact that they are doing this, and I love the fact that, the hand sanitizers, I kind of used to make fun of people when I'd see them pull one out of their pocket, at all the time and everything, and now I'm thinking I need to get some of this stuff and have it on hand all the time.
And if it's bourbon scented, all the better. Yeah, you can't beat that. All right. We can't end this segment without talking about some sports. But it's about another postponement, unfortunately, and this is a big one. USA Today reports that the 2020 Olympics have been postponed, likely to 2021. It's reported that the details will be worked out in the next 4 weeks. Veteran International Olympic Committee member Dick Pound tells the paper that the games will not start on July 24th. Of course, this affects athletes around the globe. Last month, we told you how a pair of student athletes on the UK rifle squad had qualified for the U.S. Olympic team, locking up 2 of the 4 spots in Tokyo. Keith, I'm glad they're postponing and not canceling. I don't think canceling is even a question.
Yes. But the thing becomes now, you can't do more, qualification. You've got to take the teams that you have set, keep them for next year. So hopefully that means Mary Tucker and Will Shaner for UK Rifle get the chance to shoot next year when they have this, wherever it may be. And also you think about Lee Kiefer, who is in fencing as well from here in Lexington. She will get the chance to go on and be in another Olympics.
Yeah, that's important because you don't want to, those people have already achieved their dream.
Exactly.
Let them do it.
Yes. All
right, up next on Hey Kentucky, a Pulaski County native is an expert in microbiology and immunology. We'll hear her take on the coronavirus outbreak and later a look at headlines for Good News Monday. Stay with us.